Hey everybody, Larry Finney with Greene, Finney, Cauley here to continue our video series on fraud. Today we want to talk a little bit about some of the most common fraud schemes. Two reminders. One, the limit of schemes is almost endless, only limited by the creativity of the fraudsters themselves. Two, don't forget about the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. Every 2 years they do an extensive study and issue a report, and they did one in 2024 that has all kinds of good information. So when we talk about fraud schemes, we generally break it down into three categories. One is corruption, two is misappropriation of assets, and three is financial statement fraud. Corruption, we're talking bribery, extortion, conflicts of interest. Misappropriation of assets, we're talking about either stealing cash, stealing non-cash, such as inventory, equipment, or fraudulent disbursements. And then financial statement fraud is obviously the intentional misstatement of financial information. So when we dig a little deeper, when you look at combining the frequency of a scheme along with the median loss, there's three misappropriation of assets that really rise above the rest in terms of providing the most risk to an organization. One is check tampering, one is billing, and one is non-cash. So check tampering, we're talking about forgery, we're talking about changing a payee. Billing tends to be personal purchases, creating false vendors, those types of things. And obviously stealing non-cash, we're talking inventory, equipment, etc. Corruption generally means that you more than likely have somebody in your organization that maybe has too close a relationship with a vendor or a customer, because either that customer or vendor is able to bribe or extort an employee, or the employee is able to get kickbacks from that customer or vendor. So while corruption is not the most common, it can be one of the more difficult to try to detect. And then when we more specifically zero in on governments, the top three are corruption, billing, and payroll schemes, whether it's a false employee, falsely reporting overtime, etc. With nonprofits, it's corruption, billing, and expense reimbursements are the most common. So you might ask, why are we talking about fraud schemes? Well, one of the best things you can do as an organization is to look at the schemes that fraudsters commit and then assess the risk in your own organization of that scheme happening. And if that risk is too high, then you need to ask yourself, what can we do about it in order to reduce that risk? So looking at these schemes can be a great way for you to evaluate your own internal controls, processes, and procedures.